Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Wednesday evening to you all. I hope you guys are doing well out there tonight. Had yourselves a wonderful day, and I hope everyone's had a great week out there so far. It's been an active one with tracking this winter storm, which has since now moved all the way to the eastern seaboard. It's impacting North Carolina, Virginia, the Delmarva, the Tidewater. It's snowing like crazy in those areas, northeast North Carolina, eastern Virginia, up into southern areas of Maryland. I mean, it's snowing. It's puking snow. Okay, I've gotten videos from it all day on social media as I've sat in this cold, miserable rain here in Columbia, South Carolina, all day. But you know what? It's been cool just because I've seen snow already this winter. I've seen an inch and a half of snow, which is about what we average here in my neck of the woods. So I'm not jealous at all. I'd be a little bit more annoyed if we hadn't got any snow all winter. But you guys are definitely scoring pretty well in those areas I just mentioned. So happy for you guys. I really am. That's genuine. That's real. And I appreciate everybody tagging me on social media all day. It's been really cool seeing everybody being so happy about the snow for the most part. But we're not going to speak on what's going on right now anymore outside of that. In this video, we're only going to focus in on that backside energy that's going to pivot back through all these same areas and bring another shot of snow later tonight into tomorrow morning, maybe lasting as far out as early tomorrow afternoon. That's all we're going to focus in on this video. So if you're tuning in from like Maine, Louisiana, Mississippi, points west, something like that, this is not going to be a video for you unless you just want to know what's going on, which, you know, good for you. Thank you for watching the video regardless. You're awesome. But what we'll do first is speak on what's happening a little bit right now, not much, just to kind of look at real-time observations compared to what's to come. We'll take a look at the water vapor loop, and then we'll focus on some short-range model guidance and show you guys some wild possibilities that are possible tomorrow morning. We could get some light snowfall accumulations in areas that didn't really get to see anything today. So if you guys have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. If anybody has anything that I can pray about or pray over, please put it in the comments below. Let's get rocking and rolling. So our storm is ongoing right now. This is the main piece of energy. Low pressure has developed and deepened since this morning, and this is really amplifying all that moisture into that already in place cold air. So it's snowing like crazy in areas of eastern North Carolina, Virginia, etc. So hope you guys are scoring well. But if you look back here, and we're going to say so long to this, we're not going to speak on it anymore. But you look back here, we're getting some light snow flying around some very cold temperatures. I mean, it's so cold out here, it's squeezed out all the moisture in the atmosphere. We had lake effect snow in like Dallas this morning, which, by the way, I did not mention that at all, and I'll admit, but hope you guys, they're winter weather fans, enjoyed that in Dallas. Let me know how much snow you got if you're tuning in from that area. But this energy right here is on its way to getting its act more together, I would say. So we're watching this right here. Now, I want you guys to check this out on water vapor loop, and I don't show this much anymore. I've kind of gotten away from it, but I do want to show you the piece of energy on water vapor loop. The whiter colors on your screen is more moisture in the atmosphere, which makes sense because if I circle this area right here, that's obviously our storm system, right? A lot of white, a lot of moist air in the atmosphere. Now, I want you to see this little kind of dip that's dropping down right into here. That's some backside energy, sort of an upper level low, and this likes to bring its own kind of shot of cold air and its own little area of moisture with it. And this thing's going to dig down. It's kind of like a piece of energy that kind of likes to dig down behind a larger piece of energy. This thing is going to swing down here and try to bring enough oomph, if you will, moisture in the atmosphere, tapped on with this cold air, and it's going to bring some widespread light, maybe at times a burst of snow into these areas across Kentucky, maybe eastern Tennessee, Virginia, and into the Carolinas late tonight, really into tomorrow morning. Not everybody's going to see it, but it's this piece of energy right here that's going to bring the opportunity for it. So let's go on and move past this, and let's just get into the meat of the video. So we're going to start off by discussing Kentucky, Tennessee, and surrounding states first, and then we'll jump into Virginia and the Carolinas. I'm not going to spend a super long time on any given graphic. I just kind of want to show you the possibilities. So this is starting off around 8 p.m. tonight. So as we're starting to move into, I know you're thinking, Mitch, that says 9. Well, this is in Central Time, so back this up an hour. So this is about 8 p.m. Central Time. You see the snow? See this band of snow making its way through Kentucky? We've probably already still got snow on the ground in Kentucky from the system yesterday or last night, whenever. This is going to add additional totals. And it's going to be so cold that this band of snow that works through Kentucky, I mean, it's going to be snowing in areas of Indiana, Ohio too, and probably the northern counties, maybe all the way down to Nashville of Tennessee. This is going to add another coating of snow on the ground. This is around 11 p.m., midnight tonight, and we keep this going, and it could really begin to blossom as we start to get into 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So we got snow flying around here in southern Ohio, eastern Kentucky. This could add an additional inch. It's going to be snowing at such cold temperatures. Like, for example, this is what the temperatures are showing at this time frame for the HRRR model. Okay, in the mid to low teens is what this snow will be falling in. Very cold temperatures. Let's go back to this. Switch it to that. So very cold temperatures that this will be falling in. And then we kind of continue this, and the snow will start to enter the western sections of Virginia. And then I think the Tri-Cities area, like, Johnson City, all the other communities in this area, Bristol, you guys are going to get a legit burst of snow, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, give or take an hour. That's going to probably put a fresh coating on everything. It's going to be so cold. While not have an issue at all accumulating on surfaces. Now, I do think this snow could be a little bit further south, a little bit deeper further south in the Cumberland Plateau than what's modeled. I really do. So, don't look at that for exactly what's going to happen. Okay? Now, I want to jump down into Virginia and the Carolinas. All right, so this is starting off around midnight, 1 a.m. Let's say 1 a.m. because we're now in Eastern time. So that's the time frame up here. So 2 a.m., 3 a.m. already. Even before this batch, we're getting some snow showers popping off around 3 o'clock in the morning in the upstate of South Carolina. The main system's pulling out. You see that. We can say goodbye to that. We got some flurries popping up in the Piedmont, central North Carolina. And check this out. We got this main band up here, blasting through West Virginia. This will probably add a couple more inches of snow. Look at the snow entering western Virginia. But look at this band developing. And guys, you see these darker blues? This is a heavy burst of snow. And this is happening in an area that got kind of hoodooed today, which we were kind of thinking was going to happen. There was going to be a dry slot area. You were lucky if you picked up a half an inch of snow in this area today. But this could make up for what this did not do, the main system. This is around 6 a.m. tomorrow, Greenville, Spartanburg, up into Gaffney, Shelby, Gastonia, Hickory, Lincolnton, Charlotte, getting a burst of snow, 6, 7 o'clock. Check this out. Watch how it tries to get all the way down to Columbia. For example, it's around 8 a.m. tomorrow. If the HRRR model is correct, this short-range model, it's snowing in Columbia at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. You're heading off to work thinking, man, what is going on? There is a real possibility of this. I mean, this is some heavier snow, too. Greenville, Spartanburg, still seeing the snow. Newberry up to Rock Hill, Chester, some snow flurries flying around Lancaster. Snow's drifting through the Piedmont, North Carolina. It's snowing up here in Roanoke, Lynchburg, Blacksburg. I mean, it's snowing all the way up here in the northern areas of Virginia. And then we take it to the last frame here. This almost looks convective in nature, meaning I'm not going to say you're going to get a rumble of thunder, but I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised. It looks almost convective in nature, which happens with these kind of vort maxes that literally max out over an area. But this looks like a heavy burst of snow. And listen, the temperatures will be cold tomorrow morning. And in the upper levels, they'll be much colder. So the temperature profiles will support all snow. But look at this burst of snow down to Columbia. And this is the latest model run that we have. So we'll kind of have to jump back into the 18Z run, which looks about the same. And we have to extend this further out. I love when it does that. Sarcasm. We kind of have to extend this. Get all this out of the way. And here it comes. This is getting 8, 9, 10. Look at this heavy burst of snow into Columbia. Back into Greenwood. Look at snow flying around the Raleigh-Durham area and everybody in eastern North Carolina, eastern Virginia on top of the snow that's already on the ground. For some areas closer to maybe Fayetteville and surrounding counties, you're dealing with the freezing rain right now. So you could have some snowflakes that end up, accumulating on the glaze on the trees and stuff like that. Look at this burst of snow. Look at the darker blues over Columbia. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I think it's a possibility. Then the northwest flow stuff cranks up in the mountains. And then look at the snow flying around the Outer Banks all the way to the eastern shorelines of North Carolina. it tries to get flurries early tomorrow afternoon all the way down to Myrtle Beach, heck, maybe all the way down to Charleston. And I just wouldn't be surprised if this ends up materializing like that. Let's see if we got the latest 22Z one. And it only goes out to, this is going out to about 4 o'clock in the morning. Compare that with this. Yeah, I mean, it looks about the same. You got flurries breaking out. Now, this might not materialize. It very well might. I mean, it just sometimes that it just overdoes this type of stuff, and it just might not materialize. But it's going to be fun to watch to see if it does, because a lot of these areas just, y'all didn't score much, especially in this area right here. Y'all didn't get much at all today. Now, if you compare it with the NAM shows something similar. The NAM is really aggressive with this stuff back here in eastern Tennessee, eastern Kentucky, western Virginia, and West Virginia. But here's this secondary kind of area that develops in front of the first area. And there's look at this heavy burst of snow up into the Piedmont, central North Carolina, into central and western Virginia. And then look at the snow flurries, light snow, trying to get all the way down to Columbia and even all the way down to Orangeburg tomorrow morning into early tomorrow afternoon. So it's interesting stuff to me. And, we can sit here and we can't nail down the snowfall totals with something like this. We're just not going to be able to figure this one out, But if you look at the snow totals depicted off the HRRR model, we sit here and we move here. Ignore this right here. This is for what's going on right now. What it's trying to say is going to happen. Okay, but you keep going here. All this stuff you're seeing here in Kentucky, this is for the backside moisture. And check it out. It gets all the way down to Columbia, and it's still snowing down here in Columbia at 10 a.m. So the run's not done. It's still snowing, but it wants to deliver a half an inch, maybe an inch of snow into the Greenville-Spartanburg area, into Charlotte, north of Charlotte. It wants to dump about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. I'm not saying that's what's going to fall, guys. I'm saying that be aware of a surprise. It wants to dump about 1 inch or 2 of snow overnight. So you go to bed tonight, you're thinking, well, we got what we got. In these areas of Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, into the Carolinas. Now, that might not be the case. So just keep an open mind about, fact that there could be more on the way. Now, we'll have to back it up to the 18Z and kind of look at the entirety of the run. And, I mean, it wants to drop 0.3 of an inch of snow on Columbia. That's enough to – that would be enough to make the ground look white. It wants to drop, 0.5 inch of snow into the upstate, over 1.5 inches of snow into Charlotte. So it's interesting stuff. I mean, I think this is certainly wild to look at, and just a closer look at the Carolinas. This is picking up on what's happening now. We'll have to let's go back to this and look at that. This is what's going on right now. But there it is. There's that little bit of accumulation. Not a lot, but a little bit. Certainly there. Let's see if the 22Z run is going through. It's not yet, so it's still running. But even the National Weather Service is picking up on this. So ignore all this right here. This is what's going on right now. Now watch how it kind of fills back in. National Weather Service, is even going for a few tenths of an inch of snow in the upstate of South Carolina. Maybe up to a 0.5 inch near Charlotte. So it's even saying, hey, there's a real possibility we could get some light snowfall accumulations off this. So I find that very interesting. Here's a closer look at the Carolinas and watch how it fills in. Boom. It's trying to say Rock Hill down to Chester could get a couple tenths of an inch of snow. That's enough to make everything white for at least a period before it melts. So, I'm very interested to see what happens with this. And I can sit here and mess around with the models all day. See if this is rain a little bit later, and there's the band. There's that heavy band of snow developing in the upstate of South Carolina. It's around 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, and this is into the Piedmont. And, at the end of the day, we can sit there and kind of look at these models all night until the point it happens. But we just kind of have to kind of wake up tomorrow morning and see what's going on. I'm very excited to see. But, for example, you look at this run, then you look at the latest run. It looks like it kind of backed off a little bit, but it's still there. We still got snow flying around in these areas of upstate South Carolina, Piedmont, and we just got to see what happens as you get later in the morning. Does it continue to develop all the way down to Columbia? We just got to watch. I think this is a fascinating little setup that could surprise people. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody squeezes out 1 inch out of this. So some of the other short range models show it too. It's just kind of a wait and see type thing, guys. So that's all I got. We'll do our regular morning video in the morning, and after that we just see what's next. But I can tell you guys, the pattern still looks cold going forward. So if you're a spring weather fan and you live in the eastern U.S., you're not going to be a fan of what's to come. God bless all y'all. Have a wonderful night and enjoy the snow for who all is getting it.